Coming up on OU Nightly, fire weather is ramping up across the state as drought conditions continue. We'll have all of that and more.
And the investigation continues into the fire that broke out at the Lloyd Noble Center during an OU basketball game. Plus, deadly train accident in Norman, what police are saying tonight. This is OU Nightly.
Service just issued a fire weather watch later this week. Thanks for joining us tonight on OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Now, Norman is a part of the area under watch, but our OU Campus Weather Authority is tracking the threat. OU Nightly meteorologist Dylan Stroko has the latest. Dylan?
Yeah, guys, we are tracking yet another fire weather threat across central Oklahoma as the drought conditions continue across this week. You're going to see that's why we have that fire weather watch that will go in effect Wednesday morning until 8 p.m. Wednesday night. Now, Gina Birdie, our OU Nightly meteorologist, is live outside of the fire department, Station 3. Gina, what can you tell us about what a fire weather watch is?
Hey, Dylan. This morning, the National Weather Service issued a fire weather watch for Cleveland and surrounding counties in central Oklahoma. A fire weather watch is issued when atmospheric conditions that will help fuel the intensification and spread of fire are expected. Throughout the next few days, we can expect wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high temperatures throughout the state, and low humidity levels. These are all essential variables that will help kickstart that fire threat. The National Weather Service recommends never leaving a fire alone and extinguishing any fire. Dylan, back to you.
Yeah, guys, and the record-breaking heat as well as the drought conditions are going to be really what's going to be elevating that fire weather threat, so I'll have all of that and more.
Thanks, Dylan. The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management wants to remind citizens to properly discard cigarettes, keep vehicles off of dry grass, and to avoid activities with open flames or sparks. Also, follow burn bans in your area.
The investigation continues tonight after a woman was hit and killed by a train on Saturday in Norman. OU Nightly's Colson Pocock is live in the newsroom with more. Colson?
That's right, Lyndon. Police tell me tonight that the victim was running to cross the tracks when she was hit. It happened at the railroad crossing near the intersection of Flood Avenue and Tecumseh Road around 6:40 p.m. Saturday evening. Authorities say officers found the woman dead near the tracks when they responded to the call. Trains in the area are not allowed to use their horns. Train traffic in the area has returned to normal. We'll bring you more details on this story as soon as they're available. Bryn, Lyndon?
Thanks, Colson. New developments tonight after students walk out of different Oklahoma schools last week to protest ICE and their tactics to round up illegal immigrants. OU Nightly reporter Leah Smith is live outside of Norman North High School where one of the walkouts happened. Leah, you spoke with state lawmakers.
Bryn, Lyndon, I met with the leader of the Oklahoma Freedom Caucus, Senator Shane Jett, today. In response to the press release sent out by the Oklahoma State Department of Education, which said that in their investigation to these school districts, they did not find any evidence of the districts organizing or endorsing these protests. He says that the OSDE did not properly do an investigation into these teachers and these walkouts, and he tells me that the Freedom Caucus will be launching their own investigation into these school districts.
The teacher unions who are concerned that there's not enough time to teach, and also often parroting a very leftist skewed research that says we're 50th in education, and we are not. Need to be focusing on reading, writing, and arithmetic, and not the agitating for these types of manifestations.
There is an abundance of organizations that rank states based on education. Most of them do rank Oklahoma towards the bottom for K through 12. Senator Jett believes that if we focus on our students and keep politics out of the classroom, Oklahoma students will thrive. Reporting live from Norman North High School, I'm Leah Smith, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Leah. The Oklahoma State Department of Education says that the safety of students and staff is the #1 priority during these ongoing protests.
Now, over the weekend, you might have seen viral videos of a popcorn machine that caught fire at the Lloyd Noble Center during an OU basketball game. OU Nightly obtained video of the fire and the aftermath that you see on your screen. You can see the popcorn machine was located in the southwest side of the arena. The game was stopped but did resume. Norman Fire and OU's fire marshal have not yet released a statement on the incident.
And across the state today, some Oklahomans won't be able to buy certain products with SNAP benefits after this healthy food waiver went into effect. Items no longer eligible for purchase with SNAP are candy items and assortment of soft drinks. These updates are part of a 2-year federal pilot designed to test whether clearer food standards improve consistency and nutrition outcomes.
A government shutdown and the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie. Abigail Nickel has that and the rest of today's international and national headlines from the News Center.
That's right. The Department of Homeland Security is shut down. Over the weekend, funding was stopped for the DHS as Democrats and Republicans debate immigration reforms. Border Czar Tom Homan said frozen funding for the department won't impact the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations. Until a funding agreement is reached, DHS employees will be on the job without pay. The search for Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, now enters its 3rd week. Law enforcement confirms they've uncovered DNA and multiple pieces of evidence, including a glove that was left outside of Guthrie's home. That glove is currently undergoing forensic testing, but no suspects or persons of interest have been identified. And Saturday, the Department of Justice sent a 6-page letter to Congress regarding a list of politically exposed persons in the millions of files released related to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This letter listed the names of many prominent figures, including presidents, cultural icons, business leaders, and government officials. And Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall has died. According to a statement sent by his public relations agency on behalf of his wife, Duvall died peacefully at his home in Virginia on Sunday. Bryn Linden.
Thanks, Abigail. And coming up, learn just how much Olympians make on the podium.
And the opportunity to come to OU and graduate with a bachelor's degree in only 3 years is now possible. Stay with us to find out how that will look.
OU is expanding its degree offerings. The Board of Regents recently approved 6 new online bachelor programs. The university's Bachelor of Arts in Social Work director and instructor, Jennifer Dell, says that the new online program is foundational to the Oklahoma community.
So with the ability to have easier access to the schooling, we know it'll be foundational to our Oklahoma communities and beyond, since the online program will also allow individuals from other places and spaces to also really learn from our faculty and be able to really grasp a hold of all the things that we work on in our program.
And the new online bachelor degree programs are set to launch fall 2026.
Controversy over Canada's tariff policies. Sutton Parker has that and more in today's Money Matters.
We start in Washington, where the House voted to cancel President Trump's tariffs on Canada. 6 Republicans jumped ship and voted with the Democrats to pass a House resolution. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he's disappointed with the vote.
I'm disappointed in the vote, but the president has veto power, and there's not a 2/3 majority in both chambers to override the veto, so it's not going to change the policy in the end anyway.
The Senate has also passed a similar measure, but President Trump has the ultimate veto power, which he is expected to use if the resolutions are brought to his desk. If you bought chocolates over Valentine's Day weekend, you probably noticed some sticker shock. Prices for chocolates have spiked 14% from the beginning of the year to this month, nearly 8% price hike during the same year. The higher prices reflect ongoing shortage of its main ingredient, cocoa beans. And with the Winter Olympics underway, have you ever wondered how much Olympic athletes get paid for making the podium? According to CNBC, United States athletes who received a gold medal earn at least $8,000. Silver medal winners get $23,000, and bronze winners go home with $15,000. This year, there are over 2,000 athletes competing across 116 medal events. And there's good news for the economy. The most recent economic report shows annual inflation slowed significantly. Consumer prices rose 2.4% in January, marking a sharp cool down from the 2.7% increase in December of last year. Bryn Linden.
Thanks, Sutton. Coming up on OU Nightly.
A closer look at the disease that hit more and how campus should react.
And that fire weather threat is continuing to ramp up across the state this week. I'll have all those details and more after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We have a rather warm and breezy afternoon out there today across Norman. You're going to see that current temperature of about 73 degrees, but we're feeling pretty dry out there. The dew point and the humidity are pretty low. Those winds are gusting out of the south, so we're feeling pretty breezy right now. Those temperatures across the metro are feeling quite the same, though. You're going to see temperatures in the mid to lower 70s, 73 over there in Oklahoma City, even getting up to 76 over there in Woodward. Getting a little bit cooler there out in the southeastern part of the state, still hanging out in the upper 60s. You're going to see those winds as well gusting into the, I would say, 20s to even up to near 30 miles per hour right now. And that's really going to be bringing in that warmer weather as we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days. Now, tonight's going to be nice and mild at low temperature of about 57 degrees. We're going to see those winds continue to gust out of the south, though, and that's going to really fuel that record-breaking temperature that we could be seeing for tomorrow. Now, that forecasted high for tomorrow here in the Norman and Oklahoma City area is about 78 degrees. Now, the record was set back in 2011, and that is at 80 degrees. So we're going to be really pushing for near to possibly even record-breaking temperatures. But we are staying dry out there. We had a rain system come through this past weekend. Most of it stuck down to the south of us here, where Ardmore and places to the southeast picked up well over an inch of rain. But here in Norman and even western Oklahoma, you were less than an inch, only about a quarter of an inch here in Norman, but places like western Oklahoma and even northwestern Oklahoma saw very little to no rain, which is helping to enhance that fire weather threat that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days. So here's your fire weather threat for Tuesday. Elevated and critical here in central Oklahoma to near extreme out there in western Oklahoma. This is going to shift eastward into central Oklahoma as we go into Wednesday. So we're watching for some critical fire weather conditions and even again extreme fire weather conditions out there in western and northwestern Oklahoma. So that is why we do have a fire weather watch that will go into effect on Wednesday and that will expire at Wednesday at 8 p.m. We even have some red flag warnings out there in western Oklahoma where we are seeing some enhanced fire weather conditions. Now we also have the wind advisory out across central and western Oklahoma, and that's going to be because we're seeing those winds really pick up over the next couple of days. You're going to see wind gusts. I mean, look at that, 67 mile per hour wind gusts. I can't even imagine walking outside in that. So that's definitely going to be something we're watching for, and that's going to be elevating that fire weather threat. Over the next couple of days, you're going to see even Wednesday as well, getting it well up into the 30s and 40 mile per hour winds, and even Thursday as well, getting up to 20s and 30 mile per hour wind gusts. So definitely going to be the main story we're watching for over the next couple of days. That's going to be helping fuel that fire weather threat. But overall, temperatures should stay nice and warm the next couple of days. We'll be cooling down by Thursday with a nice cold front coming in. But overall, lots of sunshine and little to no rain chances this week.
Yeah, thanks for that fire report, Dylan.
Of course, of course.
Man,
So we traded the rain for a chance of fire?
Yes, yes. It's very dry out there.
Well, cold and flu season in Oklahoma saw a curveball on February 11th with a confirmed case of tuberculosis and more. OU Nightly's Kevin Daniel has its impact on campus.
The Oklahoma State Department of Health confirmed a case of tuberculosis at Westmore High School, and with that being just 14 miles away from the University of Oklahoma, I spoke to on-campus health professionals about what kind of risk that poses to the university.
It's not something to be terribly concerned about, but it is a contagious illness.
Tuberculosis, a respiratory disease the World Health Organization lists in its top 10 causes of death worldwide. But due to its rarity in the United States, an isolated case on campus wouldn't cause that many problems.
It's usually more of a problem with people that are very close contacts. So somebody that lives with somebody with tuberculosis, or somebody that maybe that spends every day, a coworker.
This is because tuberculosis spreads through the air during prolonged contact with an infected individual.
It wouldn't be just because somebody had an active infection in a classroom, would not necessarily put you at high risk. It'd be those people that live with the people and that are with those people every day.
Well, I did speak to the Oklahoma State Department of Health, and they did tell me that this case does not pose any threat to the University of Oklahoma campus. But for now, reporting from Goddard Health Center, Kevin Daniel, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kevin. OSDH lists common symptoms of tuberculosis as prolonged cough, fever, night sweats, and fatigue. You can call the Cleveland County Health Department with any questions.
And for the first time since last year, one OU team won 2 games in a row. We have a full report about how they caught fire.
And speaking of fire, one team stopped, dropped, and rolled their competition away. Find out what records were nearly broken.
And OU baseball put their former conference up in flames. How hot did OU get over the weekend? I'll have all this and everything else up next in sports. Hi, I'm Jamin Dawson, and it's time for sports. OU men's basketball fought to keep their hot streak Saturday, and the popcorn machine wasn't the only thing that ignited.
It was chicken. Barbecue chicken.
This game was barbecue chicken indeed, as the Sooners were on fire, literally, as they shot over 58% from the field and 56% from the three against Georgia. Nigel Pack proving that by shooting this three from Timbuktu. Then, to close out the half, Koala Talk opens up his corner stove, give him his change. 12:56 to go, Tay Davis drives, gets the and one, and does his Planet Fitness flex cam. There was nothing sweet about this Valentine's Day for the Bulldogs, as the Sooners get their first double-digit win and back-to-back win since January 3rd. Tay Davis was the leading scorer with 19 points, and Koala Talk and Nigel Pack was right behind him with 18. The Sooners broke Georgia's heart 94-78, and they just look to keep the ball rolling.
The message was really, we had to guard the ball better. 1-on-1, it was simple as that. We were stopping them in their actions. We knew what they were going to run, and then it came down to just mano guarding the ball, and they were getting to the paint. If they missed it, they were getting offensive rebounds. So we came down in the second half, and we knew we took that, to the heart.
Put your foot on the gas, chase. There's always a path. There's always a path if you're believing. And your sight line, I said that line. Our sight line was just what was in front of us, and that was Georgia. And now we'll have a new sight line for next Wednesday.
Reporting from the Lloyd Noble Center, Dalton Davis, OU Nightly.
11th ranked OU women's basketball traveled to Tuscaloosa to face number 23 Alabama Sunday. Reagan Beers poured in 21 points leading the team, followed by Peyton Verhulst with 17 points and Aaliyah Chavez scoring 9 of her 15 points in the fourth quarter, extending the win streak to 2, winning 79-71. OU baseball swept their competition over the weekend at the Shiners Children's College Showdown. OU up 5-3 at the top of the ninth until Brendan Brock went yard for a grand slam, taking the fight out of Texas Tech, winning 10-3 Friday. UNLV transfer L.J. Mercurius earned SEC Co-Pitcher of the Week, notching a career-high 12 strikeouts, and Trey Gamble knocked a homer in the right field. OU wins 10-1 over rival Oklahoma State. The Sooner softball squad upped their win streak to 7 as they swept their competition over the weekend. Patty Gasso and the girls buried the UTEP Miners in run rule fashion, winning 34-0 Sunday, with Gabby Garcia and Tia Malloy leading the way by both hitting 6 RBIs and a grand slam. The next game comes Thursday against Cal State Fullerton at 7:30 p.m. OU alumni Anthony Kim won his first golf tournament in almost 16 years Sunday, overcoming a drug addiction after a 12-year hiatus to win the Live Golf Adelaide Sunday by 3 strokes over 2-time major champion John Rahm. Lyndon, Bryn.
Thanks, Jamin. On this President's Day, a certain former president says that he believes there is something other than humans out there.
Find out who believes in the little green guys coming up.
I'm Melissa Campbell at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Norman police say a suspect has been named after a shooting near Porter and Main Street on Valentine's Day. Officials say Kyle Monroe was seen walking around shooting a gun in the area and in a nearby backyard. Monroe was taken into custody and police confirmed no one was injured. Bryn, Lyndon, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa. Well, Dylan, you said it yourself, we're going to be warming up this week.
Absolutely. We have plenty of sunshine out there for the next couple of days, but that's really going to be helping to ramp up that fire threat that we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days, Tuesday and Wednesday especially. We'll have a cold front coming in Thursday. It'll bring those temperatures back down to the 50s, but lots of sunshine, not a lot of rain chances. And we want to take this time to remind you, with the severe weather threat coming up, that we have our Next Gen Weather app that you want to scan our QR code. Of course, that'll give you a notification for any weather threats wherever you are. Of course, we want to remind you of that as well. It's only $12 per year.
Well, happy President's Day. Take a look at what President Obama had to say about aliens.
They're real, but I haven't seen them unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Yes, sir, and that was former U.S. President Barack Obama saying that he thinks aliens are real.
So Obama did go on to clarify on Instagram that he personally thinks that the odds are good, but he has not seen any specific evidence of aliens and hasn't seen them himself. Dylan, are aliens on the forecast?
You know, I can't be forecasting aliens. I could tell you that there's not a lot going on in the skies for the next 7 days, so I wouldn't bet on aliens.
No need to look up for those.
Would you guys like to be friends with aliens someday?
I don't think they would be friends with me, but I would really try. I wouldn't push it, but I would offer my specialties to them.
Definitely. Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Have a good night.